Russia is a country of vast landscapes, deep forests, ancient cities, and rich cultural layers. Its legends reflect the soul of the nation, one shaped by Orthodox faith, pagan traditions, heroic epics, and folk wisdom. These stories were passed down through generations, first by oral tradition, then through literature, art, and music. This article explores 10 of Russia's most enduring legends, spanning from ancient Slavic mythology to haunting Soviet-era tales. One story, Baba Yaga, the Witch of the Woods. Perhaps the most iconic figure in Russian folklore, Baba Yaga is a fearsome old witch who lives deep in the forest in a magical hut that stands on chicken legs. She flies in a mortar, using a pestle to steer and a broom to sweep away her tracks. Baba Yaga can be both villain and helper. Sometimes she devours lost children. Other times she aids brave heroes and heroines, if they pass her tests. She represents the wild, untamed forces of nature, the mystery of the forest, and the fine line between danger and wisdom. Baba Yaga has become a symbol of Russian folklore itself, appearing in literature, cartoons, and modern media. True story, Kashchey the Deathless. Kashchey the Deathless, Kashchey Besmertny, is one of the darkest figures in Russian fairy tales. He is a skeletal, immortal sorcerer who kidnaps women and locks them in his magical domain. Kashchey cannot be killed because his soul, or death, is hidden far away, often inside a needle, which is inside an egg, inside a duck, inside a hare, locked in a chest, buried under an oak tree on a distant island. Only when this needle is broken can Kashchey be destroyed. He represents fear of death, obsession with power, and the challenge of defeating evil through cleverness and courage. His tale is a cornerstone of Slavic heroic myth. 3 story, the Firebird. The Firebird is a glowing, magical bird with fiery feathers that shine in the dark. It often appears in fairy tales as a treasure to be sought by princes and adventurers. Though the Firebird is beautiful and rare, it brings both blessing and danger. Capturing it often sets off a chain of quests, riddles, and battles with dark forces. The Firebird is also a symbol of hope, rebirth, and the pursuit of beauty, akin to the phoenix in Western mythology. The legend inspired countless works of Russian art, including Stravinsky's famous ballet, The Firebird. 4 story, Sadko the Merchant Musician. Sadko was a humble musician in the city of Novgorod who played his gusli, a traditional string instrument, on the riverbank. One day his music reached the ears of the Sea Tsar, who invited him to perform in the underwater kingdom. There, Sadko impressed the Sea Tsar and was offered riches, wives, and wonders. But when Sadko chose love over gold, he was returned safely to the surface. The legend of Sadko teaches about temptation, humility, and the magical connection between music and the spirit world. It reflects Russia's deep connection to water, music, and mystical forces. 5 story, the city of Kitezh, Russia's Atlantis. The legend of Kitezh tells of a hidden city that vanished beneath a lake to escape destruction. When the Mongols invaded, the devout citizens of Kitezh prayed for salvation. Their prayers were answered, not through battle, but by miracle. As the enemy approached, the city was swallowed by Lake Svetloyar, disappearing into its depths. To this day, some believe that on quiet nights, you can hear church bells ringing from beneath the water. Kitezh symbolizes purity, divine protection, and the spiritual strength of the Russian people. It has inspired operas, paintings, and pilgrimages, earning its place in Russian mystical tradition. Sixth story. Ivan the Fool. In many Russian folk tales, there is a character called Ivan the Fool, Ivan Durak. He is the youngest of three brothers, often lazy or seemingly simple-minded. Yet through kindness, courage, and luck, he always triumphs. While his older brothers chase glory and wealth, Ivan helps strangers, listens to animals, and obeys his heart. In the end, he wins the princess, the kingdom, or even wisdom itself. This tale is a celebration of Russian peasant values, humility, intuition, and the belief that simplicity is not stupidity, but a path to deeper understanding. Yeats' Seventh Story. The 12 Warriors, Bogatyri. The Bogatyri were epic warriors from medieval Russian legend, like knights or heroes of a bygone age. The most famous are Ilya Muromets, Dobrynya Nikitich, and Alyosha Popovich. These heroes protected Kievan Rus from invaders, dragons, and evil sorcerers. Ilya Muromets, for example, was paralyzed as a child until miraculously healed. He then rode off to defend the land from monsters and Tartars. These legends are preserved in Byliny, epic oral poems, and reflect Russia's military courage, Christian values, and belief in divine strength. The Bogatyri represent the dream of noble warriors who defend the innocent and uphold justice. Eighth story. The Rusalka, water spirits of Slavic lore. A Rusalka is a ghostly water spirit, often the soul of a young woman who died tragically, such as through drowning or betrayal. In folklore, Rusalki live in rivers and lakes, and while some are peaceful, others are dangerous, luring men to their watery graves. They appear as beautiful maidens with long hair, sometimes combing it while sitting on rocks. They may dance under the moonlight, sing songs, or seek revenge on the living. Rusalki symbolize nature's beauty and its deadly power, as well as themes of grief, loss, and transformation. The legend blends pagan ideas with later Christian interpretations. Ninth story. The legend of Stenka Razin. Stenka Razin was a 17th century Cossack leader who led a massive rebellion against the Russian nobility. While he was a real historical figure, legends turned him into a folk hero and tragic outlaw. In one famous tale, after capturing a Persian princess, Razin throws her into the Volga River to prove his loyalty to the Cossacks and to his cause. Songs and ballads turned this act into a symbol of loyalty, freedom, and the cruel cost of revolution. Razin remains a Robin Hood-like figure in Russian folklore, part patriot, part rebel, and part cautionary tale. 10th story. The Dyatlov Pass incident, a modern Russian mystery. One of the most chilling modern legends of Russia is the Dyatlov Pass incident. In 1959, 9 experienced hikers died mysteriously in the Ural Mountains. Their tent was found torn from the inside, and their bodies were scattered, some with crushed bones, others with no visible wounds. One woman's tongue was missing. To this day, no single explanation fully accounts for the bizarre conditions. Hypothermia, avalanche, Soviet weapons tests, aliens, and even Yeti attacks have all been suggested. Though rooted in real tragedy, the Dyatlov Pass story has become modern folklore, a symbol of Russia's deep wilderness and the unknown. These 10 legends, ranging from ancient pagan myths to modern mysteries, reveal the soul of Russia. They are filled with heroism, sorrow, supernatural forces, and moral wisdom. They speak to the Russian people's enduring connection to nature, family, faith, and fate. To hear these stories is to glimpse the heart of a vast land where history and myth often walk hand in hand.